Well, good morning, everyone. Before I begin the individual comments, may I say that I'm really impressed with the submissions this time round. They are absolutely astonishing, and those that don't like getting down low, they've got down low. Those that didn't like going outdoors, they've got themselves outdoors. So well done to everyone. So let's kick off with the first of these images. And this one is Bill 1, who has very kindly submitted three, I believe I'm correct, three cobwebs with convenient dew on them. And number 1 is particularly good insofar as the light is picked up by the dewdrops on the cobweb. It looks particularly stunning. Unfortunately, the spider and some of the dewdrops are against the background of green, which Bill has improved on in his next image. Nonetheless, it's a very good image, sharp where it should be sharp, sharp all the way across the field, and a sufficiently low aperture number as to give us a blurred background. I'll go to Bill 2, and he's moved his camera. We will notice the almost backlighting on the spider, which has fantastically brought out the detail in the spider's body. It also shows that by moving the camera, he's aligned, shall I say, yes, aligned the spider's body with the dark part of the background. A great improvement. The focus is good, in fact it's excellent on the spider, but because we're on macro, you cannot avoid the fact that towards the edges the droplets become less and less sharp, and that's perfect. It could almost have been introduced as a vignette. Excellent image. Spider's in the middle. He's not the third, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit. So yes, I like that a lot. Number 3. Again, Bill has moved his camera. He's got the spider almost perched between the green grass and the black of the background. Beautiful picture. If I were to choose the best of the 3, I'd think the accolade would go to number 2. Number 2 to me is the best one. But looking further at Bill 3, you can see the spider's legs. You can see, if you look at the droplets, that you can actually see a magnified view, inverted, of the garden through the droplets. That's a wonderful image, Bill. It comes very, very close to number 2, but I think number 2 is the winner as far as I'm concerned. Excellent.
Sorry.
Moving to Brenda 1. Very nice little shot of crab apples. A little bit light, and perhaps a smaller aperture, larger number would have given a better image there. I don't know if it's sunlight. I dare not say it's flash, but the background is sufficiently out of focus to leave the apples themselves nicely focused and well positioned. One has to ask oneself, how could we have improved it? The answer, I think, is somehow twist the camera so as to keep the apples in the frame, but to have the branch from which they are sprouting come from the corner, and usually branches grow upwards, so I would have been inclined to turn the camera so as to get the branch coming from the corner, if I could, whilst retaining these crab apples. A beautiful picture, slightly overexposed, well seen, well focused, and because you've chosen a wide aperture, the background is nicely out of focus. However, have you spotted the little memorial sign in the garden at the bottom there? Let's move on. Brenda 2. Beautifully seen. The hues of the rose buds, rose hips, very nicely captured. However, if we took that picture, should we crop it? Could we crop out all of that yellow foliage at the front? Is that distracting? I think it perhaps is. And I don't know if your camera could have gone closer, but you've done very well to get that nice sharp red rose hip in the top left third. And if your camera allows you to have got in even further, elsewise you can cheat. Crop it into a nearly square format, and that would make that an even better picture. Well seen, nice and sharp, background's out of focus, exactly the way we want it. Not an easy subject to take, but well taken. Well done, Brenda. Brenda 2, pumpkins. Are they pumpkins or are they gourds? I don't know. Anyway, they offer themselves to be a really interesting, colourful scene. I put that into the category of tabletop, and I love it. It's absolutely great. I don't know how many you took, but you know the golden rule, take lots. My eye is taken to the black pumpkin on the top right-hand third, framed by the two orange and green stripy ones rather closer to you. Unfortunately, I'm distracted by the light reflecting from the left-hand top pumpkin, which again, let's talk about cropping. If we were to crop the whole image into jolly nearly a square format, that would be a winner, a real winner. I love it. But I do hope you took 100 and deleted 98 of them. Diana 1. Very, very nicely seen. What a wonderful, wonderful bit of tabletop. Excellent. Unfortunately, and I'm being very, very picky because this is such an excellent image, I hope you will allow me to be picky, the top, the middle leaf, the top, you just clipped the top of the leaf, which is a pity. However, the green one on the right hand side points nicely to the bottom right hand corner, and the one on the left, again, you clipped the top off the leaf. So an excellent picture. I'd like to see another one. Just draw the camera back a little bit. A wonderful range of colours. I love it. Very, very nice indeed. Doesn't need to be on the third. It's great as it is. I love it. It would make a nice, what I call a bathroom picture. Have that laminated, framed, hung in the bathroom, and when you're tired of it, throw it away, because I'm sure you took 100 and you've got another 99 to show me. An excellent picture. Diana 2, the rose hips. Very well seen, not easy to take, but well taken in this case. The point of focus is on the top right-hand third, and that rose hip with its decaying flower bud is really the subject of the photo. And you'll notice there's a real lesson to learn in this photo, that the depth of field is very, very shallow. So the rose hip in the middle is actually soft. It's out of focus. That's fine. That's not a criticism. It's a learning point. The depth of focus when you're doing macro is likely to be probably measured in millimeters. And you've done well. I suppose the rose hip is what, about 8 to 10 millimeters in depth, and that's about your depth of field. So macro really lends itself to very shallow depth of field photos, and that's nicely done. Once again, would you consider cropping that? Cropping it perhaps to a square format based on the top right hand rose hip. Beautifully seen, lovely colours, I like it. Diana 3. Exactly what I wanted you to do. Perfect. Looking through the leaf, getting the sunlight coming through it. It's not a very bright day, so that's great. It's far easier and better to take photos of this sort of scene when it's a slightly dull and hazy day. The light's coming through the leaves, showing those rich russet tones. Very nice. The stalks all combine at the top left side there, not quite on the third, but that's okay with me. And I like the way the background, which is the green and perhaps a lake or some flowers, are nicely out of focus. Good choice of aperture. Quite clearly, to get such a wide aperture, you may have had to use a tripod. Top marks for that. Well done. Doreen number 1. What a magnificent picture. fantastic. I love those colours. Is it a grapevine? Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. What do I know? I'm not a horticulturalist. Very, very nicely seen, beautifully focused, and you'll notice that the point of interest is on the top right third, very nearly. That is to say, where the stalks come out to those various leaves. You'll also notice that the depth of field is such that as we go towards the bottom right-hand corner, the focus is getting softer and softer. That's perfect. That's exactly what I would expect. Beautiful image, ticks all the boxes. I love it. Doreen 2, this made me laugh. When I looked at this, I was really chuckling. What a lovely scene. Of course, a little bit of gardening came in here, didn't it? You found those leaves, you put them on the shape of the Green Man, and the light's coming through them. Isn't that wonderful? I wonder if you had considered at the time, just focusing on those leaves. Look at the lights coming in through that top right-hand leaf. That's excellent. I love it. Made me laugh. That's got to get an extra point. Terrific. Doreen 3, the lovely colours of the leaves in the garden shed. Pity about next door's tent, but there we go. Can't have everything, can you? Well seen, well taken. Jeff 1, the holly with the berries and the variegated holly leaves. Isn't that nice? Very, very well seen. Congratulations, Jeff. Now, how could we improve it? Could we maybe square crop it so as to cut out the right-hand third of the picture almost entirely? Could we have tilted the camera so as to get the holly leaves, the holly berries on their stalk, going diagonally across the picture? I think that's a very, very good picture. Well done, Jeff. But crop it. Jeff 2, trying to see the colours of the trees as they are in the field there, recessing across the field. Very nice to spot it. How could we improve it? Could you have cropped out this goalpost on the left-hand side? Could you have pointed your camera down a little bit to lose most of the sky and keep the colour of those lovely saplings that are growing there? Well seen. Well done. Playing golf, are we, Jeff 3? Very nice. Again, the lovely colours of the trees on those. Are they elms? They look lovely. Very nice indeed. I wonder if you'd got up close to them, or were you, as I suspect, in the car, wind the window down and take a photo out of the car? Why not? Perfect way to get some good classic landscape photography. Excellent. Once again, I'd suggest we crop it. We can crop off most of the green from the bottom, at least a third off of the bottom of the photo, and a third off of the left-hand side, so as to lose the saplings. I'd crop it there to give us very nearly, I guess, a horizontal and landscape orientation. There's some detail in the sky there. I like that. Did you take 100 of those? Did you try different settings? Did you try to get that detail in the sky to come through? I hope you did. I know you did. I'm sure you took 100, and this is a very good one. Well done. Iris, number 1. Very nice iris. Man with the dog on the third. Gate leading down to a vista below. The lights coming through the trees. Beautifully seen. Is it a little overexposed? How about the left-hand side? Could we slice about a centimetre off from the left-hand side? I'm wondering, the colour of those leaves coming through is absolutely excellent. If I cropped it, I'd keep the 2 trees, the one on the left and the one on the right, which are bookending the scene of the man coming through the gate with his dogs. Beautiful. And I hope one of those is your dog. Is that Peter? I expect it is. Well done, Iris. A little overexposed and a little in need of a crop. But otherwise, I think it's lovely. So we've moved on to Iris 2. It's autumn, and what Iris has here is another one of these wonderful spider's webs with the water droplets. And if you zoom into the water droplets, you can actually see the scenery through each of the water droplets. Beautifully taken, and there is a spider. It's almost imperceptible halfway up and halfway in, not quite on the third, and there is a spider. I think it's a picture of the spider's web rather than a picture of the spider. Certainly ranks very, very well indeed, and others will notice how sharp it is in the centre and how the sharpness falls off towards the edges. Nicely done, beautifully seen, beautifully focused, very good image. Iris number 3, looking up through those lovely lemon coloured leaves. I don't know what it is. Is it a lime tree? Don't know. But it's beautiful. Very nicely seen. And others will notice, excuse me, others will notice, as you do, that the branch comes up from the left-hand corner, very nearly the left-hand corner. If we can learn from each other's photos, I would suggest, as I've suggested with other photos that we've seen, that we should arrange such branches coming in from the corner of the photo, and Iris has very nearly achieved that. Perhaps, just perhaps, a tiny crop of a centimetre off of the left-hand side would achieve that objective. Lovely colours of these trees, beautifully done. I like it a lot. Janet 1, it's autumn. That lovely sunset on the Thames with the vessels passing by the buoy, the reflection in the sea, beautiful. Do we really need that little bit of land on the right-hand corner? Perhaps yes, perhaps no. How would it be if we sliced off a centimetre from the bottom of that photo? I think that would be better, but I know what you've done. I know you've retained as much, if not all, of the reflection of the sun in the sea. Very well done. Not easy to take, and others will have tried sunsets. And again, as I always say, take 100. Use the metering on your camera, both on the sea, take a picture. Use the metering on your camera of the sky, take another picture, and notice the difference between them. There's a huge difference. The sun is not burned out. The scene is very, very reminiscent of that calm autumn evening. Well done, Janet. Janet 2, lovely, really nice. I love that cascade of colour with the leaves coming over. It's quite easy to see what to do with this, isn't it? What are we going to say? Slice 2 centimetres off the top, because the tree in the background, which is nicely out of focus and nicely dark, it isn't actually doing anything for the photo. It's a lovely photo. It's a wall photograph. I think I'd have that printed in canvas and on my wall. I think that's excellent. Well done. Janet 3, the fisherman on the end of the jetty with the sun out of the photo but reflected very nicely in the photo itself. Beautifully seen, nice and sharp, well composed. How could we improve it? Could we slice 2 centimetres off of the sky? Is that sky doing anything for us? Perhaps not. Would we take even more off of the sky? Well, try it and see. Very well seen, and if others can learn from that photo, as I said previously, I hope you took 100. At least one metering from the water, another metering from the sky, and another in between. And that will then show you the difference. Excellent, well done. I like that photo a lot. Mo 1, well, what a disaster. What a total, absolute disaster. Look at that. He's got the stem coming from the left-hand corner. Excellent. He's got the sticky bud to be in the top right-hand corner. Excellent. He's got the light coming through that leaf. Beautifully seen. What can I say, Mo? A little bit of background in there, out of focus, just the way it should be. Fantastic. Mo slipped over. But did he have his camera in his hand? Yes, he did. What were his first thoughts? Take a photo. And look at what he's focused on. He's focused on those leaves just in front of his face. Excellent. And notice how the leaves get softer and softer as you go off into the distance. I love the way the remaining leaf on the trunk of the tree cuts the horizon and has the sunlight coming through it. It's glowing. I love it. Really nicely done. I love that one. Excellent, Mo. Another one that I think would make a really nice canvas hung on your wall, and when you get tired of it, replace it with another one. Mo 3. Beautifully seen. Lights coming through these trees. This lime green. Very, very nice. The point of focus, the point of my attention, is that leaf on the bottom third left-hand side. We've got some distracting background. One looks like an acorn coming through, and one looks like the roof of the shed in the next door garden. Nonetheless, can't be perfect, but I think that's very nicely seen. And I love the way those little leaves on the left-hand side in that sort of russet colour are coming through. I think there's about 3 photos there. I know Mo would have taken at least 100 just standing in the same position. I'd like to see the other 99, because those leaves, those russet leaves on the left-hand side, are drawing my attention. They're saying to me, get your camera out, David. Take a picture of that. Just focus on those. But equally, look at the lights coming through on the top right-hand corner. The whole of that top right-hand corner was a superb photo. I think there's 3 photos in that one photo, and I know Mo's going to bring some more of that same scene to show us the excellence of his thoughts at that moment. His head is now swelling, but never mind. Well done, Mo. Ray, it's autumn. These lovely berries, beautifully diagonally composed, nicely focused, well exposed. Don't know if it's flash. Can't see any telltale shadows, but it may well be. I think that's a well seen, well composed, well exposed photo. Hope you took 100. I hope that the one that was very slightly less exposed has darker foliage in the background, but I like it. I like that a lot. Very well done. Ray 2. Again, nicely looking at the leaves. It's difficult to see where the actual point of focus is, the focus of attention. Perhaps a lot of the leaves are out of focus, leaving us with just a little bit of colour and attention in the middle right-hand side. It's a beautifully seen, nicely exposed, wonderful photo. Hope you took 100 at different exposures. Gone low with the sky coming through. I've just noticed there's some actual seed pods in the top of the photo. Hope you took some of those as well. Yep, well seen, lovely colours. Ray 3, again, more colours, beautifully seen. I love the way the red is in focus and in the front, and the background of those golden colours on the leaves of the tree behind are out of focus, nicely soft, and give us a nice backdrop. Well done, Ray. I like it a lot. Suzanne 1. Now, what is that? It made me laugh when I first saw it. Very nicely done. Very nicely seen. So, how did you improve it? How have you spent the other 99 photos of the 100 that you would have taken? Did you try putting a candle inside it and getting it glow? Of course you did. I know you did. I can hear you saying it now in your voice. Your voice is ringing in my ear saying, yes, of course I did. So let's see the other ones. Made me laugh. Well done. Good photo. Suzanne 2. Excellent. I love this photo. Really, really nice colours. The only improvement I would suggest, because it's such a good photo, is that you Photoshop it. You need to bring out the russet colours in that lovely path. Look at that path wandering away, taking us to the gentleman that's walking down the path. There's a beautiful leading line there. I love it. There's a nice frame from the tree on the left and the tree on the right. So we've got a frame within the frame. The exposure is perfect. The composition is wonderful. Just as I say, Photoshop it. Suzanne 3, droplets of water from some sort of hanging plant. Beautifully soft background, and isn't it interesting to see how the water droplets behave as lenses, and we can actually see an inverted image of what lies beyond through those droplets. Very nice indeed. I love it. Beautifully seen, beautifully exposed. I hope you took 100. I hope that we can see more of these, because that's got a lot of potential in it. Yep, love it. Well done. Terry 1. Lovely. I do like autumnal pictures, and that captures the colours and almost the aroma of autumn. I can smell those leaves. Beautifully taken, very nice, would make a nice canvas, hung in the bathroom and changed every season for a different seasonal photo. Very well seen. I love the way the stalks come from the bottom left hand side, nearly in the corner. Perhaps turning the camera just a few degrees would have brought those to the corner. I love the way they look damp. They're not wet. You haven't gone around with a spray gun. But I'm not going to teach you to cheat, am I? But some people have been known to spray these sorts of leaves with water and just get the dewdrops, the apparent dewdrops. But that's very well seen. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe, if we were to say what could we do to improve it, we would vignette it. Just the corners, each of the 4 corners brought down in Photoshop, just half a stop. Beautifully seen, very nicely done. I like it. I'd like to see that as a canvas. Terry 2. You must have gone out for a walk with Mo, and you both fell over, and you both got the leaves in focus, right in the front of you, with that beautiful recession of the autumnal colours. I like it. Very, very nice indeed. Yeah, well done. Again, I think perhaps a vignette, a very slight vignette on the bottom left and right corners. I love the way the focus of attention is on the autumnal colours of the leaves in front of us, and I particularly like the choice of aperture that has made the leaves, as they go further away from us, softer and softer. Very nice. That again would make a nice canvas. Love it. Terry 3. Now, what are we going to learn from this then, Terry 3? Here, quite clearly, you've taken this image in bright sunlight. Look at the sharp shadows. Lots and lots of opportunity here. And yes, you've got some nice colours. You've got a focus on that central golden leaf. You've got that nice contrast with the greens, showing the veins on the leaves. Very nicely seen. I wonder, did you get underneath that branch and take photos up through it into the sunlight? I'm sure you did. I'd love to see them. Well done. Well, here's a fairly rough old picture somebody found, and it's actually called a spindlewood, I'm told. Now that has been photoshopped. You may or may not notice that the corners are vignetted. And you see how they're darker? So that's what I mean by vignetting. It's also been very slightly softened outwards from the central cluster. So if you'll notice, the other clusters are soft. Some of those are genuine. They are caused by the lens, and some of them I've engineered in, I know Suzanne's going to love this, Photoshop. So there we are. I just happened across it, and that's for your delectation. You can pick it apart. You can tell me how to improve it. I'm not going to tell you. I know what I'd do to it if I was there again today. But I did take 100, and this is just one of them. In summary, I think that is an excellent project. People have submitted wonderful photos, and if you get to the position where I'm saying make a canvas of it, I suggest to you, I'm being absolutely serious, that those particular photos in that selection are well worthy of turning into a canvas.